Welcome back to the Gamekeeper's Cottage Diaries. Welcome back to Gamekeeper's Cottage. It's the 10th of July and the UK is in the middle of its third heat wave of the year. So I'm back here trying to see how much work I can get done. Yesterday the temperature was 34 degrees, so it's very hot. But my plans for this weekend and for this video, we'll do a little bit of a plot tour later, but as you can see, this area at the end of the stables has become very overgrown with stinging nettles and other plants. So I'm planning on cutting all of that back out and getting all of the stuff away from the edge of the stables. So we'll have a little look at that later, but let's have a little wander around the plot first and just see how things look. So here in the stable yard, as you can see, the hedges are very overgrown. I'm sorry for shooting into the sun, but it's rather hard to avoid it. I'm going to leave these hedges now probably until the autumn, and then we'll give them a good cut back once they've died off and try and get a bit more space in the stable yard and reclaim it a bit. We'll take a little look in the fruit and vegetable area, although we're not growing much this year. So in this little makeshift bed, I think I showed you in an earlier video, we've got a mint plant here at the end that's doing very well. At this end we've mostly got a lot of parsley, which we've been picking, and that's going well. I can't remember if I showed you in an earlier video, but we planted some rainbow chard here and a broccoli of some sort. I can't remember what that was, but I'll put a note on the screen. The rainbow chard grew very well. We've been harvesting that and eating quite a lot of it, although some of it was got by slugs and snails. The broccoli thing, whatever it was a totally different story. That didn't do anything at all. It got slugged pretty much as soon as it was put in. And then if we wander through the undergrowth, we've got our autumn raspberry plant, our golden raspberry, growing here. And as you can see, we're starting to get the raspberries developing. So we'll be looking forward to another crop of those this year. And then if we make our way through the undergrowth to the trees, you can see here the nectarine tree is growing well. The apricot I'm not so sure about. I'll have to try and see. So that is down in there. I really don't think that is going to do anything, so we'll probably take that out next year and give it up for a bad job. It looks like it's totally died off. And then as we just look around, you can see on the apple trees already developing a nice lot of small apples ready for later in the year. The cherry tree gave off a few cherries this year, although as usual the birds beat us to most of them, but it is still producing. And once again over there, that apple tree has also produced a nice lot of apples. But now let's take a wander round to the back garden and have a look at what's happening there. Round here now in the back garden, as you can see, we've got the hedge bed with our various hedge plants, which are continuing to do well, although a bit slow. The roses are the one plant that have done really well. This one is really out of control. We'll need to work on that later just to try and direct it in somewhat of a better direction. But what I really wanted to show you around here was the foxgloves, which have now gone over. The flowers are all gone, but we do have the seed pods developing, so hopefully they will spread and we'll get more of those next year. But now let's carry on and look at the rest of the back garden. Sorry for the plane noise. So again, round in this area, it is just more of the same with the hedge. We do have this little patch of white campion that seems to have self-seeded down here, and a few more over there. So I'm just leaving those where they are. It's a bit of a bonus. And then we'll carry on to the side fence. Again, sorry for the shadow. We have another rather magnificent wild rose here that is now going right over the top of the arbor seat. And a quick stop to look down here. This is the next area of gravel area that I'll be doing, but the digging is a bit hard going at the moment, so I probably won't get much more of that done this time because it is just too hot and the ground is just too hard. But here we have more of the hedge plants, and obviously the gate that I installed last time. Let's just go and look along the border. So in this little area at the end here, I installed this stepping stone yesterday just as a way to get over to the seating area, and also at the same time while I was at the garden centre I also bought this overgrown with its pretty pink flowers, nice and open. The bees seem to love that. We've got the buddleia here, which now has some flowers on it and it seems to be doing well. And as we walk along the path, you can see the scabiosa still flowering, needs a bit of deadheading. And then we've got the various lavender and other plants that we have planted in here, still looking good. I will just show you the chives because they seem to have flowered now. Here we go. So on these chives we have these pretty little pink flowers at the top of the stalks. If I just step over, again another chive there. But that's it for the plot tour. I'll be back in a minute to give you some more updates on what else I've been doing over this rather hot weekend. It's the 14th of July and we've had, since my last video, a few days of constant 30 plus temperatures, 33, 34, so getting any work done has been rather difficult. But I'm just going to finish this video off with a quick look at what I have actually got done. So we'll start off over here at the end of the stables, and as you can see, the 5 or 6 foot tall stinging nettles that were here before have now been cut back. There's still more work to do sorting this out, but at least it's not looking as bad as it was 4 or 5 days ago. I also did some work round the back of the stables, so we'll just wander around and have a look at that. So round the back of the stables here, before I cleared it out, all of the gutters and the back of the wall were covered by the Virginia creeper and other plants, so I've cut all of that back There's still a bit to do over in that corner there. I'll try and get that done later today before I finish here for this period. We also still need to replace the wood on this final bit of the stable. That hopefully is a job for this autumn, so that we have it like the rest of it. This part also needs to be painted with the black, and then that will be the stables finished. But now let's just take a wander around to the back garden and have a look at the couple of little things that I did around there. Surrounding the back garden, we'll just start off in this little corner here where we've been doing some of the planting. First off, as you can see, the flowers on the buddleia are starting to develop, so in the next week or so hopefully they'll come out. But we've also added in this little bee waterer, just a little bowl filled with some of the slate chippings and filled with water so that the bees can take a drink. I've seen a few bees and hoverflies coming in there and having a drink over the last few days. But then the only other thing I've really got done is a little bit of digging out in here. There's still a lot more to be done, but it was really hard going in the high temperatures. But as you can see, that area is probably about a third to a half dug out now. But that's it for this video. I'm going to sign off now until next month. I hope you keep well. All that remains is for me to thank you for watching and to ask that if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and join us in the comments below to help the channel grow. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.